Okay, hello. We are back again. I'm on time today, y'all, because I was late yesterday and I really felt bad about that. But I'm on time today, and it is, as you know, it's 8 o'clock and it's time for the journal challenge. Now, I don't know what happened yesterday because I said yesterday was day number 18. No, today is January 18th, and so that means it's day 18 of our January journal challenge because, as you all know, we started this challenge and this journey. I really like to call it more of a journey. We started this journey of self-discovery together on day one of the year. So today is day number 18, and today we are talking about vision. We are talking about vision today. Yesterday, we talked about acceptance. And so, as we move through the days and build upon different concepts, all of them are applicable to each and every day. And so, when we think about vision, every day our theme question is always, what did I do today to bring me closer to my best self? What did I do today to bring me closer to my best self? Well, what exactly is your best self? We have to really think about what that is and make sure that we have a very clear picture in our head of exactly what that looks like and who we look like when we are operating in our purpose, when we are operating in our vision, which, of course, I'm going to reference a prior day. We are in alignment. Okay, so now here's the thing. I want to read this because I want to make it really clear about the difference between goals and visions. Okay, so goals are basically individual things that you want to accomplish. They're like individual experiences, so to speak, things that you strive for. And so your vision is big picture stuff. It's like your mission statement for your life. So you know how different companies, corporations, they have what's called mission statements. And what made me think about this for our word of the day is I was going through some notebooks and journals that I had, and I came across a personal vision statement that I had wrote for myself a few years ago. And I started reading over it and just checking in with myself to see, this is what you said you want your this is your personal vision statement. And I started to check in and think about, over the years, have I made choices that are in alignment with that? And I said, this is perfect to talk about. And the truth is, no, I haven't made, every choice I've made has not been in alignment with that. And I'm going to tell you why later. You can fall off for making choices that are in alignment with your vision. We'll talk about that later when we get to our affirmation. So, but anyway, again, your vision is basically, the way you want things to look. It's kind of when we talked about intention, about how you want to show up. So it's about who you, what you want to be known for. It's kind of like if you think about the day that you transition out of here, what would you want people to say about you? What type of legacy are you leaving? And you have to understand that your legacy is being planted every single day. Everything you do every day is going to add up to what your legacy is and what people are going to say about you. And if you've ever been to a service where, I'm talking about a funeral, where it was hard for people to gather something wonderful and insightful about a person, it makes you think, and then there are other services that you've been to and you can just tell by the love in the room, the energy in the room, the people there, that this person brought value to so many people. And so you have to think about, and it's going to be different for everybody. What value do you want to bring to the world? What value do you want to bring? Okay. So back to goals. When we think about vision, okay, what we want to be known for, who we want to be, how we want to walk through the world. When you have your vision, then you can set your goals, because your goals should be what? In alignment with your vision. And then everything you do daily should be in alignment with meeting your goals, so that you are living out your vision. Now, this is not something that, and maybe you already know, maybe you already have a personal mission statement, or what we're going to call is a vision statement. Maybe you have a personal vision statement already, or maybe you haven't called it that officially, but you have awareness. Remember, we talked about awareness around who you want to be. So what we're going to do is make sure that we're making choices that are in alignment with that. However, what I want you to really focus on today for our first question is this. And I kind of already said it, but basically I want you to think about, what can you contribute to the world that will make you proud? Check in and think about, what can I contribute? What can I contribute, and what am I willing to contribute? Because we know that ability and willingness are two different things. Just because you're able, just because you can do, don't mean that you will do, right? So think about what you're what you're able and willing to contribute to the world. And again, as we think about our journal questions, I do want you to have a separate notebook so that we can always reference it. And also, if you want to get the questions, as you know, you can click the link in the description to get the questions to your inbox, and to also access the past videos. Text journal 30 to 39492. Okay. So think about, what can you contribute to the world? What is it? What can you do? And so when you think about that, think about your goals, and are they in alignment with that? Okay. Because what we ultimately want to do is create a vision statement. We want to create a vision statement. Okay. So here are some things to kind of help you. So think about, okay, so I already told you, maybe think about what you want people to say when you transition away. But just even that, think about, when you think about timelines and think about age, and you think about maybe what life you want to have lived. Okay, now let's be clear. A lot of times we can put a timeline on something, and it can really be more of a hindrance than help. Okay, so think about things in reference to things of value and experiences. Not, I want to have so many millions of dollars, or I want to be married, or so many children, or traveled around the world. Now, again, if these things are in connection with your vision, then that's fine. But the point I'm making is not to get tied into societal pressures of, by 30 you should have had a degree or something like that, or by 35 you should have a graduate degree, things like that. I don't want you to think along those lines. I want you to think of the way you bring value to the world and contribute. And the world doesn't necessarily have to be the world. It could be your world. We're talking about maybe your inner circle or your tribe, as you all know I like to say. So think about that. Okay, what can you contribute? What are some things that are very near and dear to your heart? You know, what do you bring? Okay, and so this isn't an easy question necessarily, because this is your first time really thinking about what is my vision statement. Then it might take a little longer for you to uncover. As you all notice, day by day, the questions are getting a little deeper and causing you to peel back some different layers, okay? So as we think about that, that's one thing you can think of. You can think about what kind of people you want to be around. Look at your circle. Remember, I told you, I don't remember what day it was, but you need to make sure that the people you are around are bringing as much value to you as you bring to them. Okay, are you with people who you aspire to be? You really need to be in a community of people that are like-minded, okay? Because when you're not, that type of energy and low-level frequency, it bogs you down, it brings you down, and you're not able to grow. You know, just like plants, you have to have the right, things for it to grow. And so you have to be around people who push you to grow, okay? Let's see. So we're still on that first question, but I'm just giving you some other things to think about. So you can think about, one way you can think about it is, if you were given all the right circumstances and resources, what could you do, or what would you do? So if resources was not an issue, money, time, things like that, what would you be able to do? What would you do? I shouldn't say what would you be able to do, because it's all in your head. But what would you do if someone showed up today and gave you, remember we talked about opportunities on one of our days, and we said you already have to be on the floor. You already have to be ready. If someone just said, here, what's your vision statement? What do you want to contribute to the world? What do you need? What would you do with that? So think about that, okay? Now, when we think about, so there's of course, in the Bible, it talks about, and I think it's Habakkuk 2:2, I think. I might be off, but I think that's right. It talks about, it says, write the vision and make it plain. Okay, and so basically, when we think about our vision, we're talking about writing it down, and we're also, when it says make it plain, it means so crystal clear. So crystal clear. Okay, so think about that. Think about clearly what you can contribute. Okay, and so that brings us to our next question. I want you to kind of zoom in, present moment, and think about what has to change in order for you to make that contribution. What needs to change? And when you think about what needs to change, you're thinking about what is out of alignment in my life. What is out of alignment? So now, just to give you some guidance, okay? Think about certain areas when you think about your vision. Now, here's the thing. You can have your overall vision, but then you can have vision in certain categories, because when you start to break that down, then you'll be able to really make a clear vision statement. So you can think about health. Like, what is your personal vision statement for your health? What is your personal vision statement for your relationships? What is your personal vision statement for your spiritual life, your professional life, or just experiences that you want to have? And when you have those broken down in that way, then you can put together a really clear vision statement about who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. And so, for instance, if you have a vision statement that is solely focused on your spiritual life, then you might talk about, about how you want to spend more time in prayer, spend more time studying scripture, or whatever holy book is along the lines of what you believe in. You might spend more time in meditation, fasting, so that would be something. You might decide that you're not going to drink, or whatever it is that you feel like is, a stumbling block to your spiritual development. You might feel that in order to bring value, you need to invest in more, spiritual retreats, anything like that. Like, what is your vision statement? And so even with your health, it would include very clearly about your exercise and your diet and your mental health, things like that. So when we think about a vision statement, that's what we're thinking of. Now, this is kind of not planned, but I'm going to flip through this as an example and read something that I wrote. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, here it is. So this is part of my personal vision statement that I wrote. I'm sharing this and I'm being transparent in order for you to kind of understand, like, what is she's saying this or that? What is she talking about? So it's really long, but part of it says, my personal vision statement is to be creative and driven while encouraging and advising others to lead healthier lives while supporting and helping each other to be clean and clear in physical surroundings and thought, speech, action, and to have peace and organization. I wrote this years ago, y'all. And so this is part of like my overall blanket statement. And then I have on the next page is broken down about my, like, a clarified vision of my spiritual vision statement, my physical vision statement, my financial vision statement, and things like that. And so as I went through each one, I had to look at, have I made choices that were in alignment with all of those? Now, my overall blanket statement about leading others to be healthier and more peaceful in their lives physically and spiritually and things like that, absolutely doing that in a blanket way. And because that is my passion, I know that that is really my life's work. I know that's why I'm here. So it was easy, for me to just kind of spit that out and to live in that moment. But when I broke down other areas, I saw that you haven't really made choices that were in alignment with that. Okay. And so earlier we talked about, I mentioned to you that I'm going to tell you the reason why that we can fall off from making it. And I'm going to read our affirmation first. And so our affirmation for today, related around vision, says, I see my vision often. I ordain it, I create it, I manifest it. Now, part one says, I see my vision often. Well, I just told you all what, in the beginning, I was going through notebooks and journals, and then I looked, I'm like, oh, look what I wrote years ago. Oh my God. That was my reaction. Well, in order for you to be able to walk in your vision, you need to see it often. So you write out your vision statement and you post it on the mirror. You put it in your phone. You put it in your car. You can make different copies of it, whatever you need to do so that you can see it often. You have to be able to see clearly what your vision is, because whatever you focus on in your head is what you're going to see in your life. So when you look at your life, then you have to understand that a lot of what you're seeing is what you're thinking about. No, let me back up. All of what you're seeing is what you're thinking about, okay? That's how that works. And so I understand. Now, when we think about vision boards, that's the concept of vision boards. Now it's here, and now you can see here, and that's what you see. So affirmation that says, I see often, I ordain it, I create it, and I manifest it. You see it, and you see it often, not just I wrote it today and I took it away. You see it often, and you ordain it means you put your stamp of approval on, like, it's gonna be, this is so. and then you go and create it because you can see it. And then manifest means then I make it happen. Then I created it, here it is. And this is what shows up in your life. And this comes to making the choices that are in alignment with your vision, we talk about your purpose. And so when you are presented with opportunities, you're already ready to take advantage of those opportunities, because everything that you're doing is in alignment with who you want to be and how you want your life to be. Okay. And so that is today. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about clarity, and we're going to talk a little bit more about vision. So it'll be like clarity and vision part 2, because it was really hard for me to kind of put into a because I try to keep the videos around 15 or 20 minutes. And it's really, think about creating your personal vision statement. It's really a lot. And so I don't want to leave you hanging, but hopefully today I've given you enough to kind of think about what you really want your life to look like and what your vision statement for your life is, so that you can start seeing it often, ordaining that, creating it, and just manifesting it so your life will look the way that you want it to be. And everyone's vision statement is going to be different, because we all have different gifts. We are all on different assignments here. Your assignment is not the same as my assignment. And so you have to know what your assignment is, and you have to make sure that once you know what it is, that you're making choices that are in alignment with that. So again, I thank you. Make sure you text Journal 30 to 39492 or click the link so you can have access to the past videos. And I'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you.